fail at the club there.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the Arts District Podcast. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Georgia.
And we're on episode 22, right?
Yep.
Big 22. And there's things falling outside of the window.
Yeah. Noisy.
Pretty short episode, I think, this week.
Yeah.
But who knows? We've said that before, and then it turns out to be the longest episode ever.
Yeah, because we just get chatting.
Yeah. But it is Sunday, and this will air tonight, so we're kind of in a tight spot for editing and uploading, so we'll make it short and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a band I want to talk to you about, a band from Hamilton, and 2 movies I watched this week. I'll just mention briefly. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Stop motion. Everything's stop motion, all stop motion. I've got a few things I want to mention and little clips that we can stick in. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, maybe I'll just roll through this quickly then.
Okay. I want to say, quick thing. I've been watching Sonic Highways. Oh my god, it's so good. I'm like addicted to it. I just want to work on a show like that.
Okay, you've surpassed me in watching it.
I think I have like 3 episodes left and I'm getting sad because there's only 3 episodes left.
Frick. Yeah, I've still only watched 1. It's bad.
It's so good. I love it.
Okay, well, we'll get on that.
Yeah.
From now on, you can be the one who talks about Sonic Highways, because apparently I failed at that.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean it like that. It's just like I watched 1, and then I was like, oh no, now I have to watch them all because I love it.
You are a binge watcher.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll kind of come back to that bit when I talk about my movies. But
oh, sorry.
Well, no, not a big deal. Okay, so I want to talk to you about a band this week from Hamilton. They're called Harlan Pepper. Maybe you've heard of them. They get some airplay on CBC. And, so they're a 4-piece. So they put out 2 albums so far. The first one was called Young and Old. And I think that came out in, like, 2011. And it was really, like, folk roots sounding. I don't know, I listened to it a bit yesterday, and it kind of reminded me of Great Lake Swimmers a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And they just put out an album in 2013. I can't believe I didn't write that down. Or no, it was just last year. It's called Take Out a 20 and Live Life to the Fullest. And they kind of moved into a more classic rock genre. Feeling, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Apparently I'm still rusty from last week. So they're a 4-piece. They formed in 2008 in Hamilton, which is cool because I live in Hamilton now. Mm-hmm. I actually got to see them play in, I think it was 2011, when I was still living in London, when I was going to college there. They were opening up for Lee Harvey Osmond at the London Music Club. And Tom Wilson is in Lee Harvey Osmond, and his son Thompson Wilson is in Harlan Pepper, so they actually often tour together.
Oh, okay.
Just another one of those father-son musician family things that are floating around Canada. Cool. So go check them out on their website. It's harlanpepper.com. You can actually stream both of their albums there, or if you type them in on Google, I think they have a Bandcamp for the first album, because that's how I was listening to it. So you can buy it if you want. I wrote down their band members' names because I just thought they sounded like something from the 60s and 70s. Like, you know how some people's names just sound kind of retro? Mm-hmm. I wish I had one of those names. My name's so generic. Like, Campbell is like one of the most common last names ever. It's like the longest list in the phone book is Campbell.
Oh.
Well, maybe like Smith or something. But anyways, so here's their names. Dan Edmonds. This guy's a singer, and he looks just like Bob Dylan, and he kind of sounds like Bob Dylan a little bit. And you'll see if you go on their Facebook and look at some pictures, you'll know what I mean. Marlon Nicole, Jimmy Hayes, anything Jimmy. I have an Uncle Jimmy, and Jimmy just sounds like something from the 70s. And then Thompson Wilson.
Those are pretty solid names.
Yeah. They sound legendary already. They only have 15, just under 1,600 likes on Facebook, which kind of surprised me because they've been getting a lot of airplay on CBC. And they have this really catchy song on, it's probably the one I've heard on CBC the most. It's called Gimme Love, and it's off their latest album, Take Out a 20 and Live Life to the Fullest. It's just so catchy, like, and it's got that kind of throwback sound. Like, it sounds like it should be coming out of like some jukebox or something. Like, there's something about the quality of the recording that is retro sounding, which is cool. I'm not sure. I think they recorded it in Nashville, actually. I feel like that's what I read.
Okay.
It would have been cool if they recorded it at home in Hamilton, but whatever, no big deal. Yeah, so I don't really have a lot to say about them, but you should definitely go check them out for yourselves. And I'm going to play you a clip of Gimme Love because it's just so good. And hopefully you can catch them at a show sometime soon. There was no like upcoming show dates listed on their website, unfortunately, so keep an eye on their Facebook page for information like that. Yeah, so here's Gimme Love.
I'll be waiting there for the glory of a love that could never walk on its own. Give me love, give me love, give me love, give me love. One more time. Give me love, give me love, give me love. You're on my mind. Buckle up, buckle up, buckle up, buckle up, oh, and take that ride. Give me love, give me love, give me love, give me love, oh, you've been on my mind.
Yeah, so that was all I had to say about Harlan Pepper. Hope you like the song. Tune into CBC if you want to hear them on the radio station. And yeah,
Very cool.
enjoy Harlan Pepper.
Mm-hmm. I have to say I like this from last week. You're going to more like Canadian local music and just what you're
Yeah.
into.
Well, why not,
I
right?
like
You know,
that,
like,
yeah.
why am I going to talk about Taylor Swift?
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's fun. It's cool.
Hmm. I'm gonna try and do more of that too, though I haven't had as much of a Canadian focus. I'm just talking more about things that I'm
Yeah, no,
been
that's fine.
into lately, as opposed to what's on in Canadian art. Though I do want to check out a couple festival things. I remember mentioning that the art stuff that's going on at Union Station in January.
Right.
I can't remember what that's called. Probably look back through my notes and find it.
I
But
remember
I'm
you
just
talking about that.
not that organized. Anyway, I'm gonna check that out. And then I also found out recently that there's a Toronto design thing happening in mid-January, so I'm hoping to check that out too.
Cool.
Yeah. But what I want to talk about today is stop motion animation. And I just showed Lauren a bunch of shorts. The first one we watched was I Live in the Woods by Max Winston, and I'll put a little clip of here for you to enjoy. Fair warning though, it gets kind of like gory and gruesome, and
Pretty
it's
gory.
It's just such a weird thing.
Yeah.
I love weird things, so I like it, but it's weird, but I like it.
You definitely watch beyond what Georgia puts up here
Yeah.
and go watch the actual whole thing. It's like 3 minutes, and
'Cause
it's like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, and it starts out and you're like, oh my gosh, this is funny and weird, and then you're like, whoa, so much weirder than I
Yeah.
ever anticipated. So yeah, check that out. And I couldn't find a lot about Max Winston, just that he's an animator. He's done work for SpongeBob SquarePants and Robot Chicken and a few other
You
things.
can see that.
Yeah. So, I don't know, it's definitely got like a quirky, kind of homemade looking style,
Yeah.
but still like pretty polished, even though it's got kind of a weird homegrown
Yeah.
thing happening.
That's cool.
And I really liked not to give too much away, but there is some there's a person in the stop motion.
Oh yeah,
as
that
well,
that
and
contrast was
it is
a little stark.
a weird contrast. Yeah. So that's that one. And then, I don't know, should I just wheel through all of
Do
this?
it.
And then,
Why not?
okay.
Yeah, go for it.
And then the next one we watched, also kind of eerie, creepy, is by Geneva Film Company, or Geneva Film Co., which was founded by James Stewart and is in Liberty Village. So Toronto-based film animation company. They've done work, like they're super into technology. They've done a lot of 3D work and sort of brand new technology stuff. So they've done stuff with Toyota and TELUS commercials and stuff. But then they did this short film called Foxed recently. And I'll also put in some footage from the trailer. But that won a ton of awards, and again, it's stop motion, and just has an eerie.
It was kind of creepy. It kind of reminded me of like Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Like this thing that when it's done, it leaves you with this like
eerie
feeling, and it's like I'm still thinking about it. Like I'm picturing it in my head, and like, imagine like if that happened to you, like being in that lost little world. I don't know, it was bizarre.
And I think it's really cool that, I mean, again, like the previous one I talked about, this is stop motion animation. Typically, like they use it for kids, cartoons and stuff. So to do like a really creepy, haunting story, I think is a cool juxtaposition.
Yeah.
So check that out. The next short that I want to talk about is Kristen Lepore's Bottle. She's works in LA, and she's won some awards for animation and stuff. And she's worked with like Google and MTV and Yo Gabba Gabba. She's done a lot of work with big companies, but this is like it's a fun. You were laughing out loud a bunch of times at Bottle.
I was laughing out loud just because it was so like cute.
Yeah, it is. I guess it's commenting on like connecting long distance, like
just the idea. Like, are you gonna insert it here at all?
Yeah. I'll stick
you see like these two little blobs, like a snow blob and a little sand blob.
Yeah,
and, like they're like communicating.
And they send this bottle back and forth. And like send each other stuff from where they're from.
It's just such a endearing little idea.
Yeah, it's really cute. I love it.
Yeah, it was good.
I've watched it a bunch of times now. Like I found it a couple weeks ago, and I've watched it like so many times. It's so cute.
It was a nice one to watch after those two kind of creepy ones.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay.
But I definitely hope to see more bigger things from Kristen Lepore, because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then finally, I thought let's talk about a major film. That's also stop motion, and that is Fantastic Mr. Fox by Wes Anderson, which is based on Roald Dahl. Sorry.
Yeah, I wonder how long it took them to make that.
A lot of time.
Yeah, frustration, patience.
Yeah.
That's a good movie, though. I like that.
It's one of my favorite movies, and probably my favorite Wes Anderson movie.
I like his style. I know we've talked about him, like, early on in our podcast, but I watched Grand Budapest Hotel for the first time, like, last week. And it's just so distinct. Like, you know immediately it's a Wes Anderson film. Yeah. And it's a cool style. Like, he's the only one that's got it, you know? That's what makes it his own, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just cool. Plus, the movies, there's something about the writing, too, that's, like, very, like, blunt and, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's very distinct. And I think Fantastic Mr. Fox is unique in that, like, it's based on something else. You know, it's not entirely, well, he might have adapted it. I don't know that much about it, but it's based on Roald Dahl's work as opposed to being entirely out of the mind of Wes Anderson and Owen Wilson. I think they work together a lot and write together. But,
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Just watch it. It's so good.
Get on that.
Yeah. So.
Cool. All right, then I'll talk about the two movies I watched that I wanted to mention. We recently got Apple TV, which is awesome for $100. It comes with all of these things like preloaded onto it, like apps. And there's one on there called Kello Concerts, and you get like a free 7-day trial. Or you can like subscribe to it for like $5 a month, I think it was, and it has all of these concert DVD, like I want to say DVDs, but they're not DVDs because they're on this Apple TV thing. So like concerts, and the entire classic album series, and what else was there? Just a bunch of like documentaries about the making of certain albums or like tours, whatever. So we ended up getting the $5 a month thing because there was just so many we wanted to watch that it would have taken us longer than a week to watch them all. And I watched, the first one we watched was George Harrison, Living in the Material World. It came out in 2011. I had never, like, I know the Beatles. I love the Beatles as much as the average person. I never really dove too far into them because I was just overwhelmed by the amount of material that they had.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah, and I feel like I'd already, like, you hear the Beatles everywhere you go. Like, all of their biggest songs, like, everyone knows them, you know? So I just didn't feel the need to dive any further into that. But it was really cool watching this movie about George Harrison because it's not just about his time with the Beatles, it's about him from beginning to end. And just a really cool story. It's a 2-part movie. Yeah, it's just really good. Yeah. Maybe think differently about them and about him because George was always like my favorite Beatle. Anyways, his songs were the ones that I liked the most. I thought his writing style was really pure and interesting,
and really cool stuff after the Beatles too.
Yeah, like
I mean, I know that they've all done work
yeah
after the Beatles, but I really liked his solo stuff.
Yeah. The other one I watched was one on Netflix. I remember talking to you about this like 2 years ago, actually. 20 Feet from Stardom. Do you remember we were in Apple Annie's and I was like, have you heard of this movie? Like, I haven't seen it yet, but I need to watch it. Yeah, it's taken me 2 years to watch it. It came out in 2013, and it's about the story of these background singers, basically.
I remember you talking about this now.
Yeah, and just about like their journey in music and how most of them, well, the ones that are in the film, you've heard their voices on pretty much every popular song. Not so much like now in popular music with like Katy Perry and whatever like that, because they don't even probably have like traditional backup singers use them in that way. But you know, artists like Sting used in the film, and I'm gapping, but there was a really long list, and like the voices in The Lion King that like those people were in the film, and like all the songs that they've sang on, like their portfolio is just endless. Like it was really interesting. There was this one lady named Darlene Love who she sang that Christmas song. It was like Motown Christmassy gapping. All I want to sing in my head now is that "Wait a minute, Mr. Postman" song. But anyways, just a legendary voice, and she kind of got screwed over a little bit, and ended up like having to clean houses to make a living. Wow. But you've heard her voice on tons of songs, and she kind of made a bit of a comeback, and she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Nice.
So it all ended up working out for her, but just it's amazing, like the struggle and the hard work that these ladies put in without getting any recognition for it. And they have such great voices. Some of the other, there was a lady named Mary Clayton. She sang on one of the Rolling Stones tracks. I can't remember the name of it. And this other lady named Lisa Fisher, who has a range like greater than Mariah Carey. Like it was just incredible to watch her sing. So really good documentary. It actually won an Academy Award for Best Documentary, I think it was. And definitely worth watching. If you like music docs, that's a good one.
Cool.
You should watch it. You did try it.
Yeah, and I think I've got to watch the George Harrison one because I think I've started it, but I don't know if I finished it. And it's from a few years ago now, so I think it's worth rewatching even if I have seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
I recently saw a funny thing on Tumblr, 'cause I spend a lot of time on Tumblr, and there was a photo shoot with Danny Harrison, and one of the quotes from him was like, when I was a teenager, my dad said to me, "You look more like George Harrison than I do." It's like, and it's true, like Danny Harrison is like an exact replica.
Oh, I know, I said that to Adam, I was like, holy cow, his son, he looks just like him.
It's weird. It's like he's a clone.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I'll definitely check those out when I'm in withdrawal from Sonic Highways.
Oh my gosh, Netflix and, well, this Kello concerts, like, the two of them combined, I will never have to have cable again. Like, there's so much material on there, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing how much you can get online.
I started watching this TV series that
Oh, we're not recording.
It must have just shut off. Okay. Bear with us. Here we go again.
There we
okay.
go.
Yeah, I just...
Sorry, it sucks
Frantic clap. Yeah, so there was this series that was out in the 80s. My older sister, Amy, used to watch it. It was called Gem. It was just called Gem, but it was about this... It's a cartoon about this girl whose father has died and left her, like, this massive record enterprise. And there's all these things going on and they need to raise money, so she forms like this band called Gem and the Holograms, and it's really weird to explain it, but basically this girl, Jerica, she can like put a hologram of this rock star person on her, so she becomes Gem. So she's like double personality, kind of like pre-Miley Cyrus in Hannah Montana, the same sort of idea, but in animation.
Okay, so sorry, I didn't hear you say this was animation.
Yeah.
I think I was still laughing at my quick clap.
No.
So it was like a children's show.
Kind of, but like I'm enjoying it so much, like watching it again, because I guess like my mom used to like tape it on the VCR.
Cool.
I don't even know how that works anymore, but like she would like tape the things on TV, so like with commercials and everything, which is funny to watch. But Netflix put like it's like a 3-season series.
Man, that's a long time for a TV, like a kid's show.
And they have like 30 episodes in each season, so it's crazy. But the best part about it is in every single episode, there's like 3 songs. So like Gem and the Holograms are rivaling this other band called the Misfits. So like there's usually like 2 Gem songs and like 1 Misfits song in each episode. And I think that's incredible. Like, how cool would that have been for a songwriter to be a part of this show where every week you have to write 3 songs for it, and the songs, they're not chinsing out. Like, these are like catchy songs, and the production on them is like super incredible, like top-notch quality. Really good songs. Like, I started watching the first, I didn't binge watch, but I watched like 5 episodes like in one sitting, and I was just like, oh my god, these songs are just so memorable and catchy. And what's that?
Are they like 20 minutes?
Yeah, they're about 20 minutes. It's just really good. So if you have Netflix, go watch an episode. Probably the first one. Yeah, it's just
cool. I want to
just
check
a part of the 80s, but it's just awesome. Yeah, I think it came out in 1985.
Wow.
And it was done before we were even born. So it's cool that Netflix brought it back.
Right. That's one of those things you left out because, like, you had older siblings. I didn't have older siblings. So, like, show me the cool 80s TV.
Yeah. So that's definitely a show that's, like, right up my alley.
Okay.
I love stuff like that.
We should make a show. I'll do stop motion animation.
Yeah.
And you can be the songwriter.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next YouTube channel coming soon.
They're actually making Gem into a movie with real people.
Oh, wow.
It's coming out in June, I think.
Okay.
I don't think there's anyone in it that... Well, Molly Ringwald's apparently in it.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, but like the holograms, like the band, maybe the actresses have been in little things here and there, but I don't think any of them are like major names.
Okay.
So it'll be cool. I'm definitely going to go see it. I'm excited for that.
Cool.
Blast in the past. But yeah, all right. So that was all I had to talk about.
Yep. So that's it for episode 22. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.